Hey everyone, we're going to be doing a little bit of work today on this GPU. This is the test card. I'm going to be removing the CX-H1300 and we're going to apply Zezzio ZT-PY6. So should be fun. I've already taken off the IO screws. I'm just going to take the back plate off here. Hope you guys are having a good night. Or if you're watching this like most people are after the stream, then how's your day going? Hopefully that music's not too loud. Hey, what's up, Taylor? How's it going? Glad you could make it out to my third stream ever. I'm sure you would have been there for the second one, but it was too short, so only 2 people showed up, but that was all right. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's a contender. I have not tested U6 Pro or UX Pro on this card with the new test bench setup with the ambient tracking, so I'm hesitant to say if it's like better or worse. I'm not sure on that, but it's definitely better than TGPP10. Yeah, this stuff's good. Just gonna gently turn this around. Actually, Taylor, I'm gonna show you, let's see. I think I can do that. Oh, not that one. Let's go with, not Firefox. There we go. All right. I don't know if that's probably pretty busy to look at, but this is the testing I've done so far with this new setup. Yeah, it's got to be close to U6 for sure. So I first tested TGPP10. I did 2 different types of mining, Furmark, TimeSpy, and Speedway. Both of those were 1080p loops for 2 hours. Then I replaced that with Slice Engineering boron nitride paste, which I thought could maybe work like a putty. It's definitely worth avoiding. Yeah, it becomes like brittle and hard, like I don't know, like plaster on a wall, but light. Yeah, it didn't work very well. And then I took that off and applied the CX-H1300. So I'm going to post a link to this chart. Actually, yeah, I don't have a link to this chart yet. I've got a link to the ETH only chart, which is a little bit easier to read, I think. And that'll be in the About section of my YouTube channel. So, yeah. Let's get back to this card here. Right. So this CX-H1300, it's kind of like soft chewing gum. It seems to have a pretty good putty consistency. Oh dear. There we go. Usually I'm a little bit tighter at doing this part, but it's okay. Yeah, I would agree with that. Definitely the compression is great. Like a little piece. Okay, should be good. I'm gonna need to find, I don't know, a better mix of music. This one maybe is okay for now. It's hard to find music that you can use that's not copyrighted. That sounds good. You can definitely find lots of music in the YouTube audio library that's like for use, but that's where this stuff's from. But not all of it sounds good, so. Just from my initial impression with CXH 1300, I'd say it's pretty close to U6 Pro, but oh yeah, you already tested it, that's right. So I realized it was going to be too much work to make one large video with like all the combined results in it, like I did the previous one, just because it's going to take me a while to work through all the pads and putties and shims combinations. We just have too much to test, and that would mean that you guys wouldn't get the results for quite a while, which obviously I've been kind of slow at getting results out, but trying to change things up a bit and make it so it's easier to do little bite-sized pieces and you guys can kind of follow the results along the way. And I'll keep updating the chart as I test more stuff. So I figured that'd be a good middle ground. And then once we have it all together, I'll probably make a larger video then. So as usual, I'm just kind of perking up the PP10 putty so it makes good contact. It can be recompressed during reassembly. So I got 2 new cameras. They're both Razer Kaio Pros. So far they seem decent. I'm not sure why they always do the auto-focusing every so often, but I guess that's something we'll have to live with for now until I get better at all this stuff. This might be the fewest amount of Q-tips I've ever used to clean up putty. Maybe. See if that gives a, oh right, I guess I could have just changed that. Still some streaking there. It's gonna take me a while to get used to changing up camera angles. It's pretty clean. Alright, the tops of the VRAM's clean. The core looks pretty good. I've cleaned this thing a few times now. Let's see if the black light stuff is holding up. I don't know, go to the overview. Yeah, it's starting to rub off where I'm rubbing around the RAM. You can see that was all filled in before, so if I ever do, well, once I get to the point where I'm going to do something electrically conductive, I'll have to be sure to reapply before I do that. Okay, so that is pretty clean. All right, the Zezzio stuff we're gonna put inside this guy here. Offhass says about the CX H1300 days ago. Unfortunately, it comes only in December. Delivery times from AliExpress are really exhausting. You'd be surprised if it, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets there faster. And it might not, but I bought 250 grams of Upsiren U6 Pro off AliExpress, and it took 12 days. And the same time, I ordered 50 grams of U6 Pro from Computer Systems GR, and I couldn't bring myself to pay like extra for fast shipping or anything, and it still hasn't showed up, and that was a little bit ago. So once that arrives, we are going to compare the two head to head and see if they're the same product or not, and kind of make some, I don't know, figure out what's going on with all that stuff. Okay, so we've got the Zezzio in here now, and we are going to weigh this so that we can weigh it afterwards and see how much we use, which shouldn't be much different than all the other putties I've been using, but that in, yeah, that's in grams. Okay. That's sitting nicely. Zeroed out. Perfect. So it's 80 grams right now. And, whoa, sorry. It's probably loud on the ears. An empty one weighs, yeah, 29, 30. So we've got exactly 50 grams as advertised. It's always nice, right? Getting things that you pay for. I think so. Okay, let's do the thermal paste first. So I'm going to need one more Q-tip here. All right. Let's go back to the close-up screen. Yeah, like when I put in the order for that 250 grams, it said it was going to take, I don't know, it was like up to 4 weeks or something like that. And it was like expected delivery, I don't know, sometime in October. And then it just like showed up at day 12 and I'm like, oh, that was fast. Now, is that me getting preferential treatment and somehow fast shipping from Middle 99 store? Maybe. I don't think so. I don't know. That wouldn't make sense. I put in a lot of orders that I've bought from there. I don't think it would be economical for them to give me fast shipping on stuff. Yeah, he just, I don't know, he gets stuff out pretty quick. Well, if you look, that middle 999 store is like a fairly large distributor. The guy mentioned that they do Thermalright products, and like apparently even the coolers, like the Noctua coolers and other coolers on their site are legit ones. I haven't ordered one to test that out, but I should probably do that at some point. Oh, yeah, don't want to forget the little dab in the middle. Ooh, that was a big dab, but it'll be okay. Okay, let's go. Let's see. See if you guys can see that a little bit better. Oh, almost forgot. One moment. So we're just going to cut this to, well, let's see what I do with my other one. So this is the CXH 1300, and I cut it to right here. I measured it with calipers, and it was 6.05 millimeters. So I'm just going to aim for similar there, and that should give us the thickness of putty that we want. I'm doing this off camera because I realized I don't want to cut my mat. Okay, it's gonna work. A little bit angled, but nothing crazy. Yeah, here we go. This stuff is a little bit firm, but nothing crazy. Definitely going to be wasting a lot less putty nowadays. So I'm back to using syringes, small quantities anyways. So I'm just going to make sure the putty is sticking a little bit to the VRAM. Oh boy. If I can get that centered on there. Pretty good. Yeah. Oh. Wow, I messed that up. I was supposed to be on the close-up while I did that. Sorry, guys. Oh, you bought the aluminum nitride non-electrically conductive replacement for aluminum and copper shims, and these will be delivered tomorrow. That's awesome. Oh, that's not them. This is something different. I also have some of those aluminum nitride shims I need to test, along with a set of, oh gosh, what is this middle called? These are the melty shims. These are 1.8 millimeter, and these ones are 1.6. Going out. So yeah, I'm going to test those out as well after I protect the cards. I got lots of stuff to test, almost too much, but we are going to get through it all, and we are going to make a pretty big chart that hopefully will be an even more accurate representation of testing than what I've previously achieved. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this around. It's going to make it a little bit easier for me to line up the screw holes. So I'm just going to snap a photo real quick. Maybe two. Yeah, they are not palladium. What are they? Let me check my orders here really quick. While I'm checking my orders, I'm going to get you guys to look at that chart there. There we go. Okay. The shims are indium thermal pads, which are apparently rated at 82 watts per meter Kelvin. So these guys right here. Look at that. Melting with the heat of a finger, maybe? Or maybe that's just how soft, and that's how soft they are. Yeah, so they used paste from grease. We're gonna do, maybe I can test both ways. I'll probably do a thermal paste using the 1.8s because that's the actual thickness, and I'll use a putty with the 1.6s, and we're gonna see how those compare. Be interesting. The putty and the 1.6 will be at a disadvantage of that 0.2 millimeters. Yeah, it's gonna be sketchy. We're gonna use all sorts of conformal coating before we do that on the card, and we'll give it a good cure. Yep, that doesn't need to be super clean. All right. What I didn't do was, I don't remember doing it, shaping this one up a little bit. This TGP10 is pretty old and still functioning. It's definitely a little bit stiffer than new, but it's still workable. So hey, why not reuse it? Wow, that was took me a little while to line that one up. No, I'm just going to get rid of the close up here for now. We don't need that in our way. Get rid of the way here. Okay, so I always do these 4 screws first. Just kind of helps align things. If the 4 outside screws line up, then the 4 spring screws will definitely line up. There'll be no issues. Ooh, 156. So, okay, they shouldn't. Okay. Maybe it's that they don't melt. Maybe it's just that they're quite soft. That makes more sense. You know, that's a fair point. Now, that being said, if they were soft enough that no thermal paste was needed, that would be interesting. You know what? The first time I try those 1.8s, I think that's what we're going to do. Is no putty, no paste, just the indium, and see what happens. As long as I cautiously test it and fan speed is up. Shouldn't break anything. As long as they don't move out of place. I don't know why I thought melty, but maybe it's because I'm onto phase change materials now. It's crazy. There's like phase change materials in most computers if they've got heat pipes. should be more gentle with these screws. Yeah, so that is the card back together. I guess I don't really have a way of moving the stream over to the test bench, so this is what the Zezzio is up against right now on this new test bench. I should probably explain my methodology. I'm basically putting the card on, setting the overclocks consistently with MSI Afterburner running HW info, and I start logging with HW info, and then I start up the test, whether it's mining or stress testing with Firmark, and I run that for at least 2 hours, and then I stop and I can do a different test. I'll create a new log for each different test, and then that spits out CSV files, and I'm able to change that into an Excel workbook, and I've got a pre-configured calculator sheet I've made, which grabs the data automatically from the columns, starting at hour mark number 1 all the way up to hour mark number 2, so a full hour of data, and then it gets min-max average for me, and I'm just using the averages of each value in this chart here. And then I also have 2 temperature sensors with the Aqua Computer Quadro, and I calibrated those to match the temperature on the previous sensors I was using for ambient temperature, just so I can maybe use those as well if I need to. And then I take those 2 temperatures and average those out, and it does a sample every 2 seconds. So I'm getting 1 hour. I'm analyzing 1 hour of data at 2-second intervals, so it should be a pretty good test for the ambient delta temps on the right-hand side here. And as you can see, that slice engineering boron nitride stuff, yeah, it was throttling the card. If you look on the very right-hand column, it's only burning 166 watts, and that's at 109.2 degrees Celsius. So pretty hot stuff. From the outcome of your videos, I bought some U6 Pro to replace the thermal pads on the infamous XFX 5700 PIC 2. After interfacing the RAM to the back plate with 4mm thermal pads and swapping to Putty, it dropped the temps on the RAM. You dropped 25 degrees Celsius on, is that GDDR5 or is that GDDR6? That's a nice looking card. Oh man. Look at that. I mean, that just looks like that's a nice card. And I like Founders Edition cards, like the 30 series NVIDIA cards, but that's nuts. That looks good. No one of the big YouTube channels I know of ever touched these thermal putty, so it's strange. Okay, so there actually are. Let's see. Just check my phone really quick, just so I don't get the name wrong. I find it's hard to think straight when I'm on stream broadcasting live. Frame Chasers. There we go. It's not that I forgot the name. I just couldn't. My brain was not functioning. Okay, so let's check this out here. That is some one-hand typing right there. Okay. Oh, that's why. Yeah, this guy is doing thermal putty stuff way before I was.
I am the great putty man.
Okay, so let's see. See what he says about
Celsius
TGPP10.
on my RTX 3000 series cards, all of them. They all dropped 20C. And what ended up happening was I was able to crank my memory slider much further.
Hey, what's up,
FPS,
Jesus?
etc., etc. Now, today we're gonna try and see if using this
Robert
putty
Starkey, Gamers
on
Nexus
regular
touched on the
memory
thick
sticks,
too. All the
like
plastic on it
just
literally
your
holds in the
DDR4
heat.
sticks that are in your computer.
Ouch.
We're gonna see if this drops the temperature on those things.
Okay.
All right, let's.
So he's gonna apply that stuff. This is like before temps.
Maybe pull even more heat out. We'll see.
The putty's gonna alter my DNA.
I made sure to put a really thin layer over all the chips, and I even got some like inside and between them as well
That's a good technique.
Maybe pull even more heat out. We'll see.
The putty's gonna alter my DNA.
The more contact that you have, the better.
I'm actually gonna take it one step further.
Oh man.
And use putty on the cold plate. That's
nice.
An expensive amount of putty there. Okay, we're at
minutes here. It is.
I left it on.
So he did some testing.
I don't think the actual thermal transfer of the pad was the lowest hanging fruit here. So I guess
So not massive temp changes, but I think he had another video where he was doing it on a card, maybe. Yeah, let's check this out for a second. I'm just gonna skip through.
I have been waiting for this for quite some time.
This is not Frame
Finally,
Chasers.
it is.
But this guy gets a 4090. Does he then do putty on it? I think. No. Okay. Replacing stock. Okay, I'm not going to be able to find also. There's definitely a few other people, and how I found out about TGPP10 in the first place was forums. I think there was a guy with a Radeon V7, and I guess he had done TGPP10 on the entire card with maybe like water blocks or something, and he was able to achieve the world record, or he claimed to, on some overclocking metric. So with the putty. So Robert Starkey, my 5800X memory controller is a dud. I have B-die and it goes unstable at 36. Ouch. I mean, could you throw some putty on it? cool it down a bit. I don't know what's mounted to that, if it's heat pipes and it's like a really thin, or you could even go phase change. You know, for motherboards, I feel like a lot of the cooling application on the motherboards could just be throw some phase change in there, some sheets, and then never have to worry about opening up the motherboard again. Because they shouldn't have really large gap sizes. If it's a thermal pad size gap, then I would definitely go with a putty instead, or even a good pad. But I don't know. I've had hit or miss luck with pads, so yeah. I think. Oh, sorry. I think that's it for this stream. Um, well, let's see. Maybe I'll answer some questions if you guys want to talk about anything or have any questions. I can chat for a bit longer. Robert Starkey, not a heat issue. It will shit itself on cold boot. Retraining sometimes. Ah, brutal. Yeah, I had one of my other computers was having an issue running memory profiles, at least the pre-configured ones, and to be honest, I didn't want to spend that much time on that computer playing around with it. So I just ran. Oh, maybe I did actually get that one working. But yeah, I've ran into that problem before. It's not fun, especially when you like buy a certain RAM with a certain XMP profile, and then you try and use that, and it's like, nope, no dice. Okay, before I forget, because we're starting to work on all these pink putties now, we're going to label this stuff. Oh, that's right. ZTPY6. Oh, and just a sneak preview. After we test Zezzio, make some room here so you guys can see. We're going to be testing out some OCP10. This is a large container, but it is only 50 grams, so it's got to be, oh, I do like that. Look at that. It's sealed. That's awesome. Jesus is Lord. Thank you for all the great videos and wisdom. Thanks, man. I'm just glad you guys like the videos and the content and testing. It's not perfect, but we're gradually improving, so hopefully that'll be good. Yeah, when soon enough I'll work through a couple of these putties, but then I'll be testing K5 Pro on here because getting a bit of flack from that manufacturer for saying bad things online about K5 Pro viscous thermal paste, just based on my one singular hot plate test. So we're gonna try it out, but not until I test a few more putties that have been on the back burner for a lot longer. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna take off, I think, and get this card up and running. And I guess I should show you though. A little bit of excess putty, not tons. I'm comfortable with that amount. And I'm gonna clean it up in a couple days anyways. Oh, that's what we forgot to weigh it afterwards. Sorry, that was pretty loud probably. Let's get this thing going here. We'll see how much we used. 67. So we used 13 grams on 8 GDDR6 VRAM chips with a gap of 1.8 millimeters. It's a fairly typical gap, so hopefully that helps someone that's wondering how much putty do I use? Because that question comes up the most, I think. So anyways, thanks guys for coming and watching my stream. I don't even know how many people are watching right now. I don't assume it's that many. But 3, that's, you know what? I will take it. 3 is good. You guys have a great night. And look to my YouTube channel about page on the bottom. There's a link there. Actually, let's just grab that right for you guys, just so you guys can see. Copy link address. I'm just going to post that. Well, that's a really long link. Sorry. And we are going to answer some questions here. Take care, mate. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. I have a 3080 and 3090s upgraded over 2 years ago with 2GB copper shims. GPU 55, VRAM 70 max. Yeah. Totally, man. Putty works good. You must have a nice case or good airflow for those. You guys have a great night, and I will catch you.